All right, everybody. Hey, this is Dr. Joe Martin from the Warrior Mindset Podcast. Today we have a special guest, two special guests coming on the show today, which is kind of exciting for me because these guys I've known for a long time. One of them I've known since he was born. It's my son, Connor Martin, to my left. How you doing today? Get a little handshake. Doing good. And then, which I'm totally excited for, we just finished up the College World Series. LSU defeated Florida, and a good friend of mine. I've known him, definitely a bunch of years. He and my son have been good buddies for a long time. Competed on the same team. Competed against each other when they were little. Riley Cooper just coming back from Omaha. Off a huge win, and I just like to shake your hand and congratulate you. We've known each other for a long time. How does it feel, first of all, coming back home after a win like that?
Well, it's definitely nice to be home. Been gone for like 6 months, but yeah, definitely good to get the ring with it. Right.
And some from the beginning. So the idea behind this Warrior Mindset Podcast, and let some of our audience know this too, is the idea behind it is we're trying to kind of pick the guests. We have two guests today, their brains, and to find out what makes them tick. And a lot of times from a team sport, from a military point of view, you have camaraderie between teammates. And obviously you had a teammate here that played high school ball with you along the way. But from the beginning part of your foundation as a little guy, right? Well, he's never been a little guy. But from the early days, has baseball been the only thing that you've mainly played? Have you played other sports when you were younger?
Growing up, I was football, basketball, and baseball.
Football, and when did you? So a lot of times, what parents will do, they'll start off their kids with various amounts of sports, and then kind of funnel it in along the way. When did you start cutting out, the sports stuff, from there?
It was after my freshman year when I transferred over here to North.
And then, so from the audience point of view, originally, where did you, start your school?
I was at Keensburg, California.
So which is just a little bit south of where we are in Fresno. And then when did you and Connor first, start playing? Do you remember?
Travel ball?
Yeah, 10 or 11 probably.
Probably 10 or 11 travel ball.
Yeah, with and against each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these guys, it's one of those things which is kind of cool. You bring in two teammates, and both played college ball too. Riley was real fortunate to be playing with LSU and getting in a lot of work. I was looking at some of your statistics and things like that this morning, prepping for the show. You had the most appearances, didn't you, for your team this year?
Yeah, all 3 years actually.
All 3 years, yeah. The most appearances. And when we talk about a foundation and a rock and a foundation, putting on the armor every day. Where was your mindset that when you started, when you were a kid, that competitiveness? Was it always, and I've known you for a long time, has it always been as intense, as it is now as an adult?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think just playing up with older brother and Garrett and just playing with the old kids, I had to kind of be that way to compete with all of them because they were bigger and older than me.
Yeah. And so from early on, because you and Connor had become friends, when you were playing, on that little league level and things like that. Connor, what was one of the things that you think that you gravitated towards him, because you guys known each other, you've been like best buddies for a long time. What are those things that you gravitated towards him from a competitive point of view? Like, what made you gravitate towards him as a friend?
Well, I feel like, especially in high school, we were both new. We both transferred in the same year.
Right.
And then, I don't know, I would say, people who just have, a competitive atmosphere, they have, a different, aura around them. So, I feel like we kind of, saw that in each other. We kind of knew who we were already just from, playing Little League. I invited him to my birthday party when we were, 12 or whatever, So, we already knew each other, and then, we were both new, so that was easy to, become friends, because when you're both new to a school, you don't really know anybody, so. And we knew, a couple people at North when we first got there, but not much.
Yeah, so the high school, they both graduated right here in Fresno, California. A smaller town is Clovis, and the various Clovis high schools, Clovis North is where these guys played together.
Yeah.
Too. Was it one of those things where, Riley, when you came to North, and then, Connor came that same year, 1 year ahead of you grade-wise, Was it one of those things where you kind of said to yourself, oh, I kind of recognize this guy? Now you guys were both older and things like that, may not have played, but did you kind of recognize him and use that as a, like a comfort zone?
Yeah, a little bit. So it was one of those things where we didn't play a ton when we were younger. So it was like, I recognized him, but it was like, I couldn't pinpoint it. And then I saw you, wasn't it like a tryout like a week before school started?
I think so.
Like the Marlins.
The Marlins scout team thing.
Yeah, and he was there, and I recognized you from there. And then,
I remember that.
Went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it one of those things where, like, Connor obviously grew up like with me. I've been real fortunate. I spent 4 of my 6 years in the SEAL team, so he's always had that mentality. And one of the kind of cool things, from the people, observing and watching this podcast is that, I have that first responder background and things like that. So I raised, my son kind of the same way. Your dad, ironically, is in that first responder realm, as a correctional officer. Do you think that he, and you've known me for a long time too, do you think that he and I have pretty similar personalities, the way we've raised both of you guys as young men, as athletes?
Yeah, I definitely think so. That definitely had into play.
Yeah, for sure.
You know him too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we have the same personality too. So like we were raised the same and like same moral values, like same, well, we also just like hate people in general. So like that helps.
That's true.
People piss us off. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But do you think that the personalities of the dads, for you two is pretty similar, where the motivation is there, the dedication, the mindset, is that where you think you guys have gravitated when you first came to school in high school, you both transferred in, and then obviously, 4 or 5 years after school has ended, do you feel that because of the same mentality that you guys are still tight?
Oh, for sure.
We definitely don't like soft people. So it's like, that's where we bond on that too. And
well, even Garrett too, like before he was older than us, so he left after 1 year, but he was always with us too before he left high school, before he went to FPU. But same thing, like it was just us three for the most part, that whole first year. Yeah. And then once he left, then it was us. And then we had to like, all right, we should probably like bring some other people, and make friends with other people.
Definitely. That is. I mean, I had obviously from you and me, I've raised you, and I have that same personality. But I think your dad too. Your dad's correctional officer. When he's at home, he just wants to chill out and relax. That mindset. So I think that I feel that calmness that I've seen both you guys play before when stuff is around you, is crazy. And I use that term all the time is in life, there's so much white noise. There's so much bullshit that's going on in this world and craziness. And even on a team, I think, and that'll be a question to both of you. And I've used this term with Connor all the time. You got to just knock out the white noise. You cannot think about the white noise because there's so much crap that goes on that could go into your head. Riley, just from you, first of all, is like, what do you do to drown out the white noise, when you're getting ready for a game, whether it was high school or college?
I kind of just simplify it. Like it's still just baseball, no matter how I was playing, whether it's, like little league, high school, college, it's all just 60 feet, 6 inches on the mound. So I still just do it like that and just play baseball, and the other stuff doesn't really matter. Yeah. So that's what I focus on.
Like, what's yours, Connor? Because, the personalities, it's ironically, people see on this podcast, these guys, are super similar, their personalities, and we'll see how in depth we get onto the craziness that these guys have done in their high school days and a little bit through college. But where's yours on that white noise? Like, I've told you that since you were a kid. Yeah. Like, how do you drown out that white noise when you're out there practicing and playing?
Well, obviously he's competed at a way higher level, so I don't really know what that's like to play in an atmosphere like that crazy.
Yeah,
with
but
that
dude,
many
I don't care what anybody says. Anybody plays above high school sports. I don't care whether you're at JUCO, whether you're at a D3, NAIA. Well,
no, it's still competitive for sure. But I meant as an atmosphere, as like spectators. Like, there's a difference when you're at City and you have 50 people and he has 50,000. There's when you can't hear yourself even talk in front of you, like.
Did it get to that level? Had it been like when the crowds?
I feel like you're probably so locked in.
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
more
even
when
hear
I'm
anything.
in the dugout that I hear it. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. But like, so when you get out on the field, like, where's it?
I wouldn't be able to hear anything either. Like you said, like if we were in the dugout, you'd be like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
But if I was up to the plate or something, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be able to hear
Hear
anything.
anything.
Unless you get a hit or something, then you kind of like, it comes back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And that's an interesting concept because, from a military point of view, and you talk about, they use the term, to be locked in.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And in an operational type of setting. And, your dad's in that same situation as a correctional officer. If, 'cause the proverbial shit hits the fan, in his situation, they use the term getting locked in. And I think on a baseball field, with both you guys in your different, teams and levels that you've been playing in, you still got to be locked in order to perform.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you like Riley when you? It's kind of funny. I tell the story all the time. When you guys were playing a inter squad, and it's probably happened many times, but I've heard it through you and Connor. When you're on the mound, is like do you tell yourself, is there something in your mindset that goes, no, this is my mound,
Oh yeah.
and that is my plate?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
for sure.
I completely change my personality off the field and on the field. Like
Yeah.
When you're crossing that foul line
Yeah.
outside the dugout, and then you kind of step over the old
Yeah, like-
white line. Nobody steps on the white line.
Yeah.
You step over it. Do you feel there's a transformation?
oh yeah, like I completely flipped the switch. Like I'm the cockiest guy in my head when I'm on the field. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. But
You have to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just completely believe in everything I have, and that I'm just better than everyone.
Because the other guy's thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
it's like you can't.
Yeah. What's that term they use? Big Dick Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the term,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, no, they use that term. So, it's
I think big dick energy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you're the guy
I
swinging.
don't know who you're talking to.
You're the guy. You're the guy swinging the biggest one on the field.
Yeah.
But they get onto the, you get onto that field, and it's funny because you guys have both talked to me about it too. Just after inter squad that he's going to go at bat against you, and it's like
Oh, in high school?
in high school,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't care whether you're best friends.
Oh,
I like hit you in the first debate.
Yeah, fucker.
Yeah.
He for sure was throwing way harder when I came up to the plate than anybody else.
Well,
It was like smooth sailing, and then I come to the bat, and he's like, "Let me just run it up to 94 real quick."
yeah.
And then I got drilled in my whole elbow guard went flying off. You ripped the whole cover off of it.
And
Yeah.
you just stayed in for
Yeah, and then
whatever.
they told me to stay in. They're like, "You're good."
just restart the
As I just got
Yeah.
drilled with 95. Like, dude, let me
Yeah.
take my base.
Let me take my base. Let me
Yeah.
take my base.
Yeah.
It's inter squad, but I'm still going to take my
Yeah.
base. Don't be.
Yeah.
But is it? It's still got to be. You guys are close friends and things like that. But there's still that because in high school and in college too. Connor did pretty good. He was. You're known. You got a pretty good stick and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But it's one of those things where you're not gonna. In your mind, there's no way he's hitting over the fence.
Yeah, no.
With you.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
like-
definitely. I
Yeah,
can't
no.
have him have that over me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's, I mean, is that where it's got to be still fun?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just competing is.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean? Whether you sit him down and then, I mean, he's,
Yeah, we all know someone's
You know,
going to give somebody shit. At the end of the day,
dogging
like,
you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you feel that with that camaraderie, do you feel from a high school point of view that from your circle, was he more one of the ones that are tightest in your circle? Like of friends, like
Oh,
on the
yeah.
team? Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even really have us.
yeah.
Just the two mainly.
I
And then
mean,
if
yeah, we
people
like-
tagged along. That was
Yeah. We would hang out with other people, but like
Yeah.
once everyone went home, it was just like us hanging out
Yeah.
at the end of the night. Yeah.
another good guy from
Anthony.
an audience point of view. Just a good friend of both of theirs. Anthony.
Yeah.
He'd be like
be the other one,
third
yeah.
the third guy in if
Yeah.
there was any things going on.
That was our
like
second year.
Yeah.
Was when we had
Second
to-
year.
We had
Once
to get
Garrett
another
left.
friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
once Garrett
you had to
left.
get another friend.
Yeah, then we got Anthony.
We
yeah.
got to get. He was a substitute.
Yeah.
He was a stray. You brought in the stray.
Yeah.
If Anthony, you ever do hear this, we still love you, bro. You know what I mean? We're at your wedding too, man, so don't kill us too much. But that must have been a tough thing too, because just from an audience point of view, their best, one of their best buddies and tight knit group, Anthony had gotten married, and this is things what happens when you become a big boy, right? When things start to change, some of these things you just can't do, and as much as you probably like to be there and you try to organize that, was that during the playoffs?
No, it was just regular season.
Regular
but,
season,
Yeah,
okay.
it was
They
getting
had,
like
it was
a
getting down to it,
series.
though, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. you know.
Yeah.
I was trying to map out ways to like.
Weren't you playing like Tennessee or Alabama?
Yeah, that weekend,
or something,
and then we had a midweek, and then it was just tough. I was like, maybe if I just drive overnight, I can get there and just show
Coach
up
was like,
and
fuck
leave.
no.
Yeah,
he's like, you ain't going.
Now you've been you know, like since we've known you, you know, myself as obviously the adult and you know seeing you guys, you know, grow up. You were always a pretty big kid, right? Growing up too.
Yeah.
Did you feel that had a was there advantages and disadvantages as you were getting older? Was it like you know how kids can be freaking mean and shit like that? Oh, he's a little chubby kid and whatever, and everybody's still developing as an athlete. When did it kind of turn on for you to where you're like, oh no, this size is an advantage?
I feel like it's always been there. Just growing up, I was taller and bigger than everyone.
Yeah.
And then even when everyone started to mature and I didn't yet, I was still like their size because
of how big.
Just how big I was. So when they matured, hit puberty and stuff, and I didn't, they were all my size, and I was still able to compete with them because
that mentality was still there.
Yeah, mentality, and I was still big, so I was their size now.
Yeah. And then you did hit puberty, and all of a sudden you're like,
and then I'm
way bigger than them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's always helped me. And
well, it's just like any person who grows up and matures quick is obviously going to have an advantage. Mm-hmm. They're going to get looked at more scouts are going to come because they just think you're grown.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these, like a lot of the Mexican kids, like they mature so fast. They're so good when we were young, like playing travel ball, and then all of a sudden they
like I went through a phase where everyone caught up to me on like sports and stuff just because they were
athleticism and
much stronger and that start of man strength.
Yeah, exactly. You know, on the other end, you know, Connor, you know, my son, he's you know he's the opposite. Like I think even right now, I guess what is it? Just about a year ahead. Like, age-wise, just about a year school-wise at least. Yeah, I don't know what the birthday difference is, but in your case, you're kind of coming in because I was the guy that grew late too, and I mean I think it was freshman year, 5 foot tall, 100 pounds.
Yeah,
something like ridiculous. And I think Riley was born at 100 pounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But what was the difference then for you? What was it like? The driving force for Riley is the fact that he always knew he was big enough.
Yeah.
So he knew that, and like you were saying, you knew that at some point the testosterone is going to kick in, and then that athleticism is just going to even be better. Like, what was the mindset of you, like running through your life, telling yourself, "I'm smaller, but I'm still," you know, what was it in your mind?
It was like if I was skinnier and like shorter than everybody, I just had to like be as strong as possible for like my size. Yeah. So that's like we started getting into weightlifting pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
So like when I would say probably like junior year, I was still skinny. Like I was still probably 150 pounds, but like I was strong. Like I could still bench 225. And hit the ball far as shit for 150 pounds. And people are like, I don't know how you hit the ball that far. But it was just because staying in the gym, like the scale didn't show it yet, but the strength was there. Yeah. And then I would say I didn't really start putting on weight until freshman year of college. Yeah. Even senior year, I probably was 10 pounds heavy, 165 pounds probably. It wasn't much. And then freshman year is when I started to really get up there, 180 pounds. And then sophomore year was like 195.
What is it when I tell people, I tell the audience, I've probably told Connor this before, but there's a point in your life, and this is me in general, and you guys may not even be there yet, but both of you guys have advanced like from a sports level, you know, and Riley, I mean, gee whiz, coming off the, you know, national championship. Where is there a point in your life that where you start walking around town, walking around, you know, the campus or whatever, to where you say to yourself, oh, people start to look at you, they start to notice you, they start to turn heads, to where you said to yourself, not that you've arrived, but it's just like there's a certain swag that comes in everybody's life for the most part. Like, do you think, was it right out of high school? Was it the first year, like when you play Arizona, right? Yeah. First season, first year at Arizona. Like when you get in there, do you feel like now, I mean, I'm not saying the accolades because of what's going on with the TV and things like that, but like from that maturity, that manhood point of view, do you feel that like you're almost there? Had you been there already? Like where do you see, like, to where you walk around where you're like, why is everybody staring at me?
I feel like I've kind of always had that feeling, even if I wasn't that guy.
Because you were a big guy as a kid?
Yeah, that and just like kind of just always being good at sports, whichever one I played. But pretty recent, at least in Baton Rouge when I was there, is like I'm getting noticed and stuff, and just everyone, like I can't walk around and go eat without someone like talking to me. So like the confidence is definitely there for that. Like winning a ring there in baseball and sports is just a huge deal there.
In there, obviously in that town,
such a sports community.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think it's crazy.
Football, basketball, and baseball.
Are they pretty decent in basketball?
The women's basketball just won their first
national championship.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know first, but like in a while.
Last year.
Exactly. So they just won that. That went crazy.
And then that same year they won.
Right.
Their national championship.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
and their football team's always pretty good.
Yeah, they're always supposed to be really good.
They're always
so the hype in that town is just ridiculous for college athletes.
Yeah, just at our celebration ceremony, there was like 12,000 people there. And, just like announce our names and stuff.
Yeah,
so that's wild.
Yeah. And then like you, Connor, like, I mean, you guys have been friends, for a long, long time. Like, where do you feel like, do you feel like right now in your life that the confidence is kind of there?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I would say in like as a personal, personal thing. Yeah, for sure. Way bigger. Like,
and do you think that's like maybe freshman year of college or like last year?
I would say probably within the last year, just because I've really gotten like freshman year of college, I definitely like got out of the kid body. Yeah. But then through the next 2 years after that, then I've like really gotten bigger, and people have noticed I've gotten bigger, which is good. Not really on like the sports side yet, just because like I haven't gotten there yet. But on a personal level, for sure.
And I feel like we've always kind of walked around with that, anyways.
I know. Well, which
we may go into as far as
which is that is definitely true.
Like even in high school, I was gonna say even in high school, you guys were always hanging out together. It was like walking down a hallway, people kind of like separate. It's like, oh shit,
everyone's wanting to talk. Like, this sounds douchey, but like,
it's life sometimes.
But like, everyone wants to talk to us. Everyone wants to hang out with us. Like, we're always like going to everything, and when we show up, everyone's like, "What's up?" Like,
we have like the confidence to like not care what people think either.
No.
So we were always acting stupid. And do whatever we want.
Well, it's funny because I think that's a really good comment because I've known you guys for so long, and whether it's over at our house, whether it's I hear these stories and accolades from you guys, and after a party goes on or whatever with a bunch of buddies, and but you guys have that air of confidence that should it's a recommendation as the old guy, should continue throughout your whole life. But the confidence there's a big difference, a fine line between confidence and cockiness. Yeah. And it's one of the things that, I'm telling anybody, I mean, these guys are the least cocky guys, but I will tell you that two of the most confident guys, that I know.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line. So when you're at parties, it's not the cockiness, but it's just like people
like we know, we're not dummies, like we understand,
But how is it, without going into any details? I mean, do you think having that as they say, the ride or die kind of buddy in high school, which is now because obviously you do two different levels at baseball, you're still trying to pursue your careers. Yeah. When it was in high school, how was it to have like that
best friend that
best buddy in high school? I mean, did it make it a lot more fun for both of you guys?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. We would have stories to tell endlessly for the rest of our lives. Like, just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Fun stuff we've done. Like, even just like little things. Like, we're like, we could talk for hours. Like, we could not do anything, not have a show or a movie on, and we could just talk for hours.
Oh, no, I remember,
that's just how well our personalities mesh.
Yeah, when you guys were in high school, Riley come over to the house, you just plop on your bed, and you'd be with your microphone on, the microphone and the headsets,
playing
and you're playing video games, and he's just freaking sleeping or on his phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just hanging out.
Or I go, aren't you guys ear off, and we're playing together, and like, yeah.
I mean, do you think that those couple of years, obviously we use it as transfer years because both of you guys transferred. So for those 2 years, I mean, are those, we talk about brick and mortar in your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because the mortar is the brick is the accomplishments. It's playing baseball, playing football. The mortar is these type of conversations we're having right now. The mortar is, you guys hanging out at the house and playing video games. I mean, do you feel that that this, like the friendship that you guys have had since you, like, we'll use more adult, high school is more adult, has molded you guys into who you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in a sense, just like.
I mean, do you feel like you can because like I know just from knowing you guys over the last couple of years, I mean, you can like just having, not saying homesickness, but in a way, from your buddies, you're in LSU now. Would you guys converse back and forth like on a phone all the time, and how's game, or he'd hear from the game, and you call him or he'd call you?
Yeah, we still talk every day.
Yeah, every day. I think this since, well, because he's a year behind, so even when I was at City, he was still in high school. Yeah. So it was 3 years of us still seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then once he left for the 4th year, I think, if I pulled up my phone, I mean, we've had a streak on Snapchat since the day you left. Yeah, that like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, 661 days.
Damn.
Yeah.
So we talk every day.
Yeah.
Even if we don't even get serious.
Yeah.
Most of the
even
time.
if it's just random shit. Like, we'll send you stuff on Instagram all the time, TikTok, Snapchat.
And we talk about the podcast called The Warrior Mindset, right? And warriors don't travel as single individuals. I know that from the military. Your dad, as a correctional officer, nobody goes into a situation by themselves. You know what I mean? And it's kind of interesting because that warrior mindset that both of you guys have. Obviously, myself raising you, Connor, and then Riley knowing you for so many years and knowing your dad's concept. You got two guys, sitting on the opposite side of the table here, as warriors in life, but also too the other camaraderie, as buddies, to where probably never will be, you'll probably always keep in touch with each other.
Oh, for sure.
Do you feel that your guys like friendship has been like that main basic foundation? Because you guys, 21, 22 years old. It's like I'm on the other end of the curve as far as life is concerned. Yeah. Do you feel that the friendship that you've had, that brick and mortar that you put on top of each other, that is something that you think is lifelong?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be in each other's weddings.
And he'll be my best man in my wedding for sure. Yeah. Like without a doubt. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
And what is it? Because here's an interesting question, because I've been, 60 some odd years old, been all over the world and things like that, have friends and, what's that? I got a buddy of mine, and I've talked to him on the podcast. He's going to be on the show here one of these days, and you know him as just Uncle Rick. You've met him before. He was my, SEAL team buddy, roommate, best man in his wedding. And, he's in Jersey, I'm here, but we probably talk to each other whenever we can. But when we do catch up, it's right back to where it is.
Yeah.
I kind of foresee that as your friendship, where anybody ever goes in life.
Yeah.
You'll be on the phone, you'll catch up, and you feel like you just not even skipped a beat.
Yeah.
Like even the last time we just went to the movies, it's been 6 months that we've seen each other, and it was like
just same shit, different way.
It's like start off with what's up, I haven't seen you in forever, and then that's it.
Just go on.
About talk for 3.5 hours probably.
In the parking lot
after.
Just so
we were there. We were there till like 3 a.m.
We didn't even get home, bro. Jeez. Like, we were just gonna go back to the house and just like chill.
You sat in the freaking truck and said,
"No, we didn't even outside. Just like standing, like just bullshitting. Yeah, because once one thing goes on a tangent, it doesn't end. And it just strings along. Goes
whether
on
it's talking about girls, talking about business,
something
talking
random.
about exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm telling you, from an audience point of view, and we talk about it in life and just in general, is you don't make very many really, really good friends in your life. You can have one or two. So I say, I could probably name 3-4 people, and that's kind of about it. Because when you guys alluded to it when you're talking about, for the most part, you use that analogy. For the most part, people suck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
sure.
and because
people are just fake. Is
what
it
you know what I mean, and when you can,
I'm sure you can attest to it more, just because of all the
hype.
Yeah, all the stuff that's been going down. Like,
I'm
sure everyone's
people
like,
talking
Riley,
to me, like
they're your best friend.
Yeah, the amount of people that have talked to me,
or like post about you and stuff, which is like, it's fine.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care,
that's cool, but yeah.
Oh, wait till and God willing, everything goes well in the next couple of weeks and things like that. Because it is looking pretty good, correct? As far as at least somebody offering you something right out of this issue, because this is technically year-wise junior year eligibility. You could go back again for another year, right?
I have one more year of eligibility.
Eligibility, yeah. So but obviously it's looking pretty good for you. Hopefully, we're all gonna say some prayers for you this week and things like that. But
go Mariners, baby.
Yeah, that's what what is that like right now?
Honestly, like the draft is supposed to be like a celebration time, but I'm kind of just ready to go. Like want to get my pro career started, and just always the feeling of underdog. Like I feel like I'm gonna be like mad, honestly, on my draft day, just because I feel like I'm gonna be better than most of the guys ahead of me, and so
see, but here's the deal. That's awesome to say, because of the fact that, since I've known you too, is like, and I tell people all the time, it's one of those things when you see Riley cross the foul line, the dude is an animal. Yeah. Like, you don't want to get, it's like, do not like.
No, you'll get run over.
Let me ask you a question. Here's one for you. You cross that dead line, right? And you get to the mound, and say, for example, you don't have a good day, whatever the case is. What is your mindset when you see the coach walk out to the mound? Do you get like freaking pissed?
Oh yeah. I never actually want to go out, and so it's just and good or bad.
Yeah. And believe me, life is not perfect. You're gonna have good days and bad days, and you obviously, because of the way you perform,
most are good.
Yeah, you're most are good. Yeah. But when you do have a bad day, you obviously able to come back the next outing and obviously probably shove and do whatever or make up for those mistakes. So with that being said, what goes through your mind? Let's go to a couple of things. First one is on the positive side. You cross the foul line, foul line, then you get onto the mound. What is your mindset, first of all, there? Oh, like, you own the game. You own the plate.
I go at them, and I'm better than everyone in my head, and just with that confidence, just throwing all my pitches and trusting it.
How many HRs, how many dingers anybody get off you this whole season? Because you had like
season
32 appearances or something like that.
Yeah, I think the whole season was 6. I believe. 6. Where's
your mindset in there? Because there's different things you go through your head, different things. You walk across the valley, you get to the mound, you own it. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, a dinger goes off. A lot of people that don't have the mentality that you do don't have the mentality that Connor does.
Crumble.
Exactly. Yeah. How do you feel? Where do you go? Like, you put on that armor a little bit thicker, a little bit tighter, and go, oh, hell no.
Yeah, it's like for a split second, I'm like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
And then it's like a not caring in the best way with that, because like I kind of forget about it and just attack how I've been attacking, because I don't think you should wait to get punched to punch back.
Yeah.
So I feel like
be on the offense.
Yeah. So if that happens, it's like
you got lucky.
I gave everything I had in that pitch, and he beat me.
Yeah.
So then I'm just focusing on the next guy and trying to beat him, and
yeah.
So I don't I don't try to do anything extra. Sometimes
baseball is the last sport you can be perfect at. Yeah. So it's like shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. Just knowing that big leaguers get home runs every game.
Yeah.
So then the next one is, say for example, you're on the mound, and then just a pitching coach comes out to say hello. Where's your mindset with there? Is they're usually saying, "How you feeling?" You get that dinger off you. You may see your head down. Was your pitching coach? Was he pretty good motivator for you?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He pretty good?
Yeah, it was just he's like, so like, how you feeling? Like, what you thinking? And I just tell him I'm good, and then that's basically it. And he knows me, so it's like,
is there not much more after that?
No, not really. Yeah. Then he just talks to the other position players that are out there.
But he doesn't talk to you.
Yeah, not really.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you want to throw here? And I'll say like a fastball. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Let me do this deal here. And obviously, it's not a strategy that I'm asking for, but is it like, do you try to come back with something hugely confident? Because every day, correct me if I'm wrong, some days fastball's just not there?
Yeah.
Other days like that?
Just any of my pitches sometimes is not there.
And you can have sometimes one pitch, it's like, gosh damn, I just can't throw this pitch today. That happens too. So when you come back, do you, like, say, for example, you get a guy gets a hit, a guy gets a double, guy gets a home run. When you come back, do you tell yourself, okay, let me build my foundation again. Let me get that brick and mortar, get my confidence. Do you throw a certain pitch, or do you say, what was in my good list today? And then you say, I'm going to throw that one to get that, get ahead of the count.
Yeah. I mainly... So to me, I feel like it's a terrible look to like give up a home run and then the next guy you walk. Because I just feel like showing fear, like, it just shows you rattled.
To throw to somebody
you got a crack. There's a crack somewhere in that.
Yeah. So my biggest thing after like a home run or a hit is legit just throw as much strikes as I can and fill it up, just to show like that didn't affect me, and I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So I like really just try my hardest to throw strikes, and normally it works and it just gets my confidence.
So you're not necessarily throwing at the next guy's head to just
no.
Randy Johnson style.
Yeah, right. That's back in the day, man. They don't do that stuff as much anymore. But and then where's then the head at mentally? With that that warrior mindset. Where is the head mentally when you? Well, first of all, I got to ask: did you get pulled much? at all the whole season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just being a reliever, yeah.
Okay, so
not pulled in as in doing bad.
Yeah. So was there anyone of those this year?
Doing bad? Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
So a lot of times as a reliever, you're getting pulled. You're like, hey, because the coach is coming out. And you go, hey man, you did a good job. You did what you were supposed to do. Grab a seat. And you're like, cool.
Yep.
What about the couple times that were to where you were like, gosh damn, I just didn't have it today.
Yeah.
Like you go back to the dugout. A lot of times guys leave you alone. Where do you go in your head? To reboot.
I kind of
or dump, as they say.
It's on my mind for like the whole rest of that day.
Gotcha.
And then the following day is when I try to forget it and just kind of think back of what I can work on and stuff and what I didn't do good or any of that. So I let it kind of soak in for the whole day of feeling bad.
Well, let me ask you a question. So from that point of view, you got a best buddy right here. Do you ever make a phone call?
I don't think so. I don't think it's gotten there yet.
Well, no, it doesn't even have to be that. Just like after a game and you've whatever, and you're kind of dumping into your computer from your memory banks, and you're letting people know. You ask him a question. Hey man, I just saw the game today. Man, oh sheesh, how you feeling?
I usually kept track of most of the games, most of the big games.
Yeah.
Not really like the smaller games. But most of the big games, I would always look at the score and then look to see if he pitched that day.
Will you
look at his stats?
Will you take the offensive and give him a buzz?
Sometimes, yeah. It's just hard. Like we just are so busy all the time.
Yeah.
So
especially with me having 32 appearances.
Yeah, it's like he's in there all the time.
He had like 10 more appearances than the next guy.
Yeah.
I think.
If I ever looked and saw that it wasn't a great outing,
just give him a little text.
Not bad, but just like probably something that he didn't like a ton. Like I wouldn't even. I'd be like, he's fine. Like the dude literally held the freshman Pac-12 record for most appearances. Like he's fine. Like it's not anything new or old to him. Like it's just another day. Like he knows he knows it's no fucking big deal.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I just give it the day.
It'd be different if it was like a big situation, like College World Series, like when game 1 when that line drive almost went over your left foot. Like that would be a different story where I would reach out and be like, dude, it's okay. Like, because I know like that would sit with him more, but just a regular game, like, fuck it. Like, it's not a big deal.
I definitely let it soak in so I can like remember that feeling for my next outing. So I kind of like feeling it.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing too. Like, I feel like a lot of people, like, they just, like, they try they try to flush it. Like,
there you go.
Like, so too quick. Yeah. And it's like, dude, you almost have to, like, reflect on it a little bit to piss you off, to remember, like, you don't want to feel like that. Like, you want to, like, feel only the positive. Like, people who just dump it and then, like, they just get shit on again and they just dump it.
They just don't care. Like,
well, then I almost feel like you're not competitive enough. Like, if you're so competitive, you're going to care. Like, it's going to bother you.
Yeah.
Do you get a hold of your brother or your dad? Or do they know you too? Nah, man, leave him alone.
Yeah, more so dad, and it's always the next day.
Yeah,
like he doesn't. Never the day of.
Yeah. I just don't like talking about it on that day or something. And
well, your emotions are high too. Like there's no point. Like you're just gonna get even more flustered.
Yeah. So I just deal with it myself on that day.
Well, also too is as then from an audience point of view, if you're to know, Riley's dad, first of all he's about 6'8", and, 200 and couple 100,000 pounds, the guys. But he's he's the type of guy that's he doesn't mix words. He's going to tell you exactly the way it is. And I think it's his job for 20 years or whatever it is. As a correctional officer, there's no wishy-washy with your dad. And I think I probably it holds true with me too. Just raising Connor too. It's like you're just going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You think your dad's does he usually kind of give you some pretty good advice? Would you just listen to you or?
He does both really good and just feeling the situation, how I'm feeling and stuff, and what he may see that can help me. Just me talking to him what I think is wrong and him just respond to that. So he's really good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool because on the other side of this wall here, we got Doc's gym, and obviously when you're in town, you and your family, when your brother's in town too, in the gym. And I know Connor since he's been little, the gym is kind of like a sanctuary to where you just get to just be you. Is the gym, whether it's when you're home here and you're training in here, or when you're at college, is the gym like a sanctuary for you where you can get your sweat on and where you can just kind of feel comfortable? Like, do you like hitting the gym itself?
Oh yeah, the gym is one of my favorite times of the day. Just lifting, and then how I feel after with the pump, and just everything about the gym I love.
Yeah, there's a lot of research out there, and I lecture on this, all throughout the country, just as far as exercise affects mental fitness, and I definitely promote that along the way, in the sense that if you're feeling stress, you'd say you had a bad outing or whatever, and you get a little cardio going, you get a little pump going. Does that make you feel a little bit better too?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've definitely had some angry lifts the next day.
Yeah. I was just about to say lifting helps like with aggression a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, just being able to like let it out a little bit.
And then that lift is good because you got that fire under you. And
then
you
you're
feel
ready
good
for the
after
next-
that.
yeah.
And then
always lifting 10, 20 pounds heavier. That
yeah, it always feels good.
Yeah.
Now, as if people don't know, 6'4", two and a lot. But I mean, how do you work yourself? Do you have a pretty good rehabilitative regimen? Are you blessed to where not many, knock on wood, not many injuries along the way? Is there rehabilitative type of stuff that you work on, or you just kind of lift?
Yes.
Dude, we were just talking about this.
So we do our little pitcher specific workouts that I really don't like.
Yeah.
Because I just like overall strength.
Yeah.
But on rehab side of things, I do the least out of
Literally
any
zero.
college pitcher. Everyone has crazy, things they do and
Bands and they gotta stretch and they gotta have the trainer stretch them out.
crazy stuff.
And
Gotta do
Legit
plyo and
legit before an outing, I warm up with a baseball.
because that's what you're going to be using.
I know, and so I throw with that, and people people have
trip out.
People have weird thing with plyo balls and all that stuff, and
The
I
rubber
legit,
bands and all this
I
stuff.
legit stand up, and I
you
just
stand
like,
up?
oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And go
Stretches
in.
his lat.
Yeah,
Let's go
it's
throw
legit.
the rock.
I just throw, and everyone trips out about it
Yeah.
because they were told sometime that you need this crazy stuff to be completely warm. And I always tell them, do you see a cheetah stretch before they go hunting?
Yeah,
And
no,
it's
no.
nope, they just go.
That's
They
it.
just run.
Okay, let me think about that. Riley and Cheetah.
Yeah.
Cheetah, Riley. Okay, let's pick a different animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's a really good point. And you say that because there's so much out there nowadays, and a lot of it's all marketing, a lot of it's all social media, and I'm right there with you. It's she's like you said, I'm up there, but in the age wise, but I don't really stretch that much either.
Yeah.
I get out there, and if I'm going to go run, I put on my sneakers, I get out of the car, and I go run.
Yeah.
Is it the best thing? I don't know.
I
But at 60-some years old, I'm still doing pretty good. You know what I mean?
I do what I feel like I need to do. I don't do anything that
You just listen
people
to your
tell
body.
me I should do. I just listen to my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when you were here in high school, you come to my office as the chiropractor. I do a little tissue work on the shoulder, a little rub dub here, this and that, and okay, Riley, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I didn't have to see you that much.
We've talked about it before too, of you being so big.
Oh yeah, I think that has to
It
play
helps.
with it, just soreness,
Covering
and
the
stuff.
ligaments and making sure they're not getting injured, and
But also too, you've also you've been lifting here for years.
so much muscle.
Well, you don't lift crazy.
Yeah.
You're not trying to hit 405 and squat 600 pounds. You
Which you could.
Good point.
Yeah.
But the idea is smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You may put up some good weights, but then you're like, I'm good
Yeah.
because I'm a pitcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not a power lifter.
Yeah.
But any given day, trap bar deadlift, 400 some odd pounds, you could pull up and just yawn and put it back down and go take a nap.
Yeah.
But those type of things.
Well, I mean, you hit 315 on bench, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've hit that, and I feel like I had more in there, but like I said, there's no need.
No need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and also too is you life's about checking off boxes. Anybody that can just say that you bench 315 in your life,
milestone.
there's a milestone. You don't need to go any further unless you're
Yeah.
powerlifting. And you probably 405 well, shit, probably more than that, but
Yeah, if I had actual months to work on it and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
because
You could hit
I'm here.
400.
Yeah, I'm here for like a month, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
I get out of
exactly.
here.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah, and then our strength guy says pitchers don't bench, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I've been doing it my whole life, so
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Well, and a lot of times too, with that is that I explain to people too, and Connor and I talk about this all the time. From a training, we've talked about it too. Is just that: are you a power lifter? or you're a baseball player.
Yeah.
You know, we used to talk about it all the time when you were in high school and coming here like, what the hell are these strength and conditioning? It's stupid. Let's have a bench press contest for a baseball player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And maybe for football, but even those guys too are doing some of these power lifts, and it doesn't translate into baseball. And you're such a functional guy. I mean, I see some of the workouts that you do and things like that. Functional movements, integrating muscle movements. You're not doing this isolated stuff unless you want to, because you're like, hey man, I feel like benching today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, you're
I don't
doing.
even think they really let you, do they?
No, I mean, I just like.
No, but here,
Yeah, like here. That's what I'm saying. I mean, here, you know what I mean, from that point of view. But
I just like overall strength. I think.
and you just feel good when you're doing lat pull downs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or bench press and whatever. But you know, from a a warrior mindset, like where do you like where are you seeing yourself in the next couple of years?
I definitely see myself, getting drafted in a couple days and just making my way up quick, because like I said, I feel like I'm the underdog in that whole, atmosphere, and I feel like I have a lot to prove and always have a chip on my shoulder. So definitely just moving up fast in the rankings with, the minor league and stuff, and just seeing where I go from there.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the things that's kind of cool that you've surrounded yourself, and I've known you for a long time too, you surround yourself with, some really, really, really good people. And that's why one of the today's, we'll bring you back on, hopefully, once the draft goes on, we'll just kind of, bring you guys back on and kind of see what that, euphoria, that mindset is, from
going out there.
Going out there, or, you come back after heading out for a while, we'll bring you back on and, find out, how things are going. But, I just want to let you know that, I'm super freaking proud of you. I've known you, for a long time. I wanted to get you on here right before the draft. It would be kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool to bring in Connor too, as obviously my son, one of your best buddy, and things like that. That it shows that it takes a village, right? We talk about it takes a village to raise a kid, but it takes a village of a certain amount of people that are close, tight knit group of people. And I personally think athleticism, or not that athleticisms, but being an athlete is kind of like you have that camaraderie like the military does, the camaraderie like the first responders, police, fire, correctional officers, and etc. So I think as you continue with your career, handpick the people that are going to have your back all the time and things like that too. So, we're going to kind of wrap it up here a little bit. And I'm looking forward to talking to you a little bit more in the future on some of the accolades when you were in high school, with Connor. But, I wanted to bring him on too to, kind of show the support. And you guys been, friends for a long time. And, from that warrior mindset, I want to let you know that I'm like super freaking proud of you. We got this little podcast. Hey, listen, some people have people listening to it, but, super proud of you. I'm glad that you and Connor have been friends, for a long time, and I continue to be, and just going to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah,
means a lot.
Let me give you a quick handshake. Hey, and thanks for coming in too, Connor, with him. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Joe Martin from the Warrior Mindset Podcast. We're going to kind of finish up here, and we're going to get Riley back here once we get the draft going to see where everything settles, where the dust settles, and where he's going to go on from there. But until next time, this is Dr. Joe Martin from the Warrior Mindset Podcast. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.